Hi, Seva. How are you?
I am fine. How are you?
All good. Thank you. So before we start, I believe you would have given the consent of recording this meeting.
Yes, I give.
All right. Great. Okay. So I'll start with that. Thank you. All right. So I'll start with my introduction. I'm Nashant. I have 19 plus years of experience overall in software delivery. Okay.
Mhm.
More than 14 years into testing, then I moved into project management. So currently exploring data science space. Okay.
Oh, great.
Okay. Can I have your introduction as well?
Of course. I'm from Israel and I work in the high tech here in the Philips Medical Company already for 4 years. I started for first 2 years as a manual tester.
Mhm.
Then I moved to automation. And now I'm part of an automation team. And that's it. I have education in computer sciences in Moscow State University. Um, and my goal is to move to development completely.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. So quickly first telling you about the QA pillars. So QA pillars helps you to identify the gaps which people may have with respect to the skills, and
Mhm.
then helps to bridge those gaps so that you will excel in your career. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So the topics I think which you mentioned were test plan, test case design, regression testing. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So
Uh,
let's.
uh,
Mhm.
yeah, I can explain why I choose these three subjects. It's like when I was just a manual tester, it was my like a sprint PI routine in my work. Sprint and PI, it's like a sprint it's 2 weeks and PI it's 3-4 months, something like that. And what was during this time? We did first test plan, then we did after the test design, and then after everything we did regression testing. So
All
it's
right.
like a fish in the water for me.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So in that sense, you thought to pick all these topics.
Yeah, it's best that I saw it, so it will be easier for me.
All right. Good.
Yeah.
Good. Okay.
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 So
So.
yeah, sure.
Mhm.
Please
Okay.
continue.
So now maybe we can start with the test plan. So considering you've already worked in, and you mentioned how many years of experience you have
In
total?
manual testing, 2 years, but I still do when I do automation, I do manual also. So 4 years of manual testing. Yes, I have
Okay. All right.
experience.
Overall, 4 years of experience.
Yes,
Great. So considering you have been working since some time in testing, you would know as to what the test plan is, right? What is the
of
test
course,
plan? Mhm.
of course. I know what is the test plan. I can I will explain it on basing on what I did exactly
Mhm.
on my work.
Mhm. Okay.
So what was our routine in test plan? We get the requirements from the client. After it, we prioritize what's supposed to be first, second, and etc.
Mhm.
Then we do the bunch of documents
Mhm.
that explains what exactly should be first developed and then tested in these documents. Then we estimate time of how long it should be developed and tested. Also, we put approximate deadlines because always something can come up. Can
Mhm.
come up.
Yeah.
Yeah. With the deadlines, we also assign during for sprint for PI, we assign to the developer and the tester what exactly should be done, should be tested here, the timeline and the description of the specific feature. So our test plan is look like user stories with description of the feature that must be developed and tested, with the time estimation and deadlines.
All right. Do you
Uh,
want
it,
go
yeah,
on? Go on.
it's like a test plan in agile form because it's a new feature and etc. And also um, in our test plan we always include the regression part
Mhm.
because of after each small something changes everything we need to do the regression testing. So it's also included in our test plan.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah. Why it's I mentioned it in agile form, because why agile? Because it's done to ensure the quality and reduce defects when verification is done. Verification cycle is going on. Agile makes it much easier to do the verification part in
Very
this
good.
plan now.
Do you also mention as to what would be the entry criteria, what would be the exit criteria?
Of course, yes.
You mentioned that? Very good.
Of course, yes. If it's brand new feature, we just develop it and we know the exit criteria. If a customer want to change something, yes, we mention entry criteria, what we have now, and what customer want to change, and how it's supposed to look after or act after changes.
Okay. Do you also mention what are the types of testing which you would not be doing?
It depends.
Out of
It
scope.
depends also. It always depends on what feature will be done. For example, if it's something with web, it's should be also GUI, and it's non-functional testing, which should be mentioned in the test plan. If it's a feature that does something like a functionality, exactly within the functionality, we're mentioning that it's functionality, and the same is the performance. If it's something that we do not add anything, we do not change, we just need to make the feature work faster. So it's a performance testing. Of course, always type of testing should be mentioned in the test plan.
Excellent, excellent. All right. Okay. Very good. So do you understand the difference between a test strategy and a test plan?
Excuse me, I missed it at the beginning.
Okay. Do you understand the difference between a test strategy and a test plan?
Test strategy and the test plan. I think the strategy, it's the way we're supposed to the way we will test it, how we will test it, and the test plan, it's what we will test.
Okay.
This is how I think about it.
All right.
Because
Okay.
it's like
But
the way we will test it, and in test plan exactly we know how what we will test.
all
So
right.
it's
Okay.
like a how and what for me.
Okay. All right. Let me keep noting down the areas as well, right? Which maybe we post completion of interview we can talk about these things which needs to be fed back to you. Yeah.
Sure, of course.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. So let's move on.
of course.
Suppose we are developing a new website. Okay. And
Okay.
in that website, the first page is a simple login page which has its URL. Okay. It has a login text box, a password text box, and a submit button, a simple page. Okay.
Submit. Okay.
Submit button. So once you enter login, maybe a username, then you must enter password, and then you click on submit button.
Submit. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And it goes to the next page, which we are not developing at the moment.
And we don't have like a question marks near the username or password.
To explain about what these are, yes, we do have. Okay. So you have, on a high level, if you have to create a test plan for this page, which all things you would like to mention?
Okay. So first of all, I want to mention, let's start from the simplest one. It's a GUI that it's possible to read, that it's a username, it's possible to use its password, that we have exactly the tab where to put our credentials. If it has question mark again, if it's look the way we understand it's a question mark, and we can put on it the mouse. And the submit button, it's well written, it's possible to read. So GUI first, always in web. After it, of course, functionality. It should be possible to enter username, it should be possible to enter password, it should be possible to press on submit button. Okay, submit button. If it's if the password or the username is wrong, we should check that we get like in red something to read is password is wrong or something like that. If it had question mark, we need to understand. We need to make sure that when I put mouse on it, I get the help, the tooltip. Okay, so as I said, GUI functionality. I would also test the performance if I enter the right credentials, like acceptance testing, positive and negative, with you understood? Yeah. Okay, great. And also the performance, if I put the right values, how fast I went to the next page, and if wrong values, how fast I got the warning message.
Excellent response time. Okay, go on. Very
Okay,
good.
response. Yeah, exactly. Also, maybe I will also test the compatibility. I will test it on different browsers, that it works on different browsers. I would also test maybe load. I will try to do it open 50 tabs and try to log in with the same username. Okay. It's like a load and also stress. Try to do maximum from that.
Excellent.
Yeah. I guess it's the first thing that came to my mind. So I guess for now that's
Very
it.
nice. Very nice. You are very good, Seva. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. I think the only thing which you can also get this tested is that the URL, the browser is correct. And second, the security part of it. Okay. You would have heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like yeah. I also wanted to mention it. It's just with all of this. Yeah, of course. If it's like too long the password or if it doesn't have numbers or exclamation mark or marks and stuff like that, of course, yes. Security
Very
testing is the
nice.
first.
Very nice. Okay. Have you heard about cross-site scripting or
Cross.
SQL injection? Heard
No, I
about it?
didn't.
No.
No.
So these are part of security testing aspects. Okay?
Ah.
So sometimes what happens is, to test the security, what or maybe the hackers can do that instead of entering the username in the text box, they write a complete SQL query. Okay? And
Okay.
then they click on submit. So once that goes at the back end, instead of username, when the complete SQL query is given as an input, it tries to fetch all the usernames which may exist in the database. So it helps them to know that.
Ah, okay. I didn't see it in my work, so I didn't
No problem.
know
So
about it.
these are
Nice.
some of security testing aspects, which when we have a security testing team, they generally do all such kind of testing and then make sure that a hacker should not be able to execute any such script, even if he enters any SQL script in the username. So our system should be so strong that it should not accept that as a request from the hacker.
Okay, nice.
Okay?
Well, good to know. Yeah, new information for me. I love it.
Very good. All right. Okay.
Nice.
Okay, let's move on. So maybe on the test case design side, let me give you one scenario.
Of course.
Okay?
Yeah.
So, and it's a simple one, and I believe you will be able to crack it easily.
Nice. Hope so. Okay.
Okay. So we have again a web page. Okay, and it has a date field. Okay, which
date field.
Date.
Sorry.
Date field.
Date. Sorry.
Date in which we enter the date. Okay, and that date accepts the date in the format DD MM YYYY.
Okay.
It's simple.
Nice.
There is no calendar icon. I mean, the user doesn't have to select the date to enter it.
Okay.
User has to enter it manually.
Of course.
Okay. So that's the requirement. Okay. And the range which this date should accept is, say, for this year 01/01/2023 to 31/12/2023 for this year on.
Okay.
So you have to test this date.
Nice. Easy. Okay, so
my question is, which all inputs you would like to enter to test that the date field is correctly working, both in terms of positive and in the negative ways.
Negative testing, of course, no problem. So first of all, the most simple is the right date, like a DD. For my first question, is supposed to be with the backslash or with the
So
dot?
suppose whatever it is, it's there only. You just need to enter the numbers.
It adds automatically
It
the
adds
slash. Okay,
automatically, or you can
okay.
assume that it's there already. So once you enter say 01, it
Mhm.
accepts it as a date and move on to part. Okay, so you don't
Okay,
need to enter slash or dot anything.
okay. So I cannot try first to enter the year because it has four numbers.
You
If it's
cannot, you cannot. It is at the end. So whenever you would enter something, it would
it will automatically go.
first two digit it would accept as a DD only.
Oh, okay. So first, my first test will be like the right date. Second test would be first to enter months. It also has two, then days, and then years. It's supposed to give me the error on the. I will explain. It's supposed to give me the error on when I try to put on the months, for example, the starting from 13. Because it's day, if it's 13, I don't know, May, so something, it will be negative testing. So everything from 13 to 31, if I try to put on the months part, it will give me the error.
Error, right?
Yeah. So with days, first of all, I would try to enter everything 0, for example, or everything with one number. It's supposed to be negative. Also, I would try to play with first. I would do the wrong month, the wrong day, right months, and right year again, and the same with
When you
right
say
day.
wrong date means you would enter 32, 33,
Something like that. Yeah, exactly.
something like that.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. It's like a year.
so
Year.
mention that
Yes,
I'll
of course. In this case, I would write exactly the same as I said with months. Wrong months, it means from 13 to 31, like a day,
just
for
mention
example.
that. Okay,
Of
yeah.
course, no. I'm just saying the common, not
Right.
the specific. And also with the year, I would try to enter, I don't know, 5,000 something, because it's not, it
In the
doesn't.
year,
In the year, yeah, of course, in the year. It's not possible to enter with the months and days. So it will be playing with the months, days, and years testing, which is pretty much it's a positive and negative testing. So the positive will be the one test with the okay, I can do a few tests with the right dates, and the negative, which I mentioned, also everything 0. For example, everything 9 also can try. That's it. Positive, negative testing. Something I missed something?
Think about it. You have missed few cases, yes.
Okay. If it's not dots and if it's not backslashes, there's no calendar there. I also try to enter the letters. It shouldn't be possible. It shouldn't be possible to add letters.
Right.
I would also try to use the space while typing, for example, the numbers or again the letters. Also the exclamation marks and all stuff like that.
Okay.
It should give me I should see the problem there. I should for example, if okay, again, if the year is wrong, I will enter not 4 numbers. I will try to enter 3 numbers of the year. And the same, for example, for day, I will try to like a space 1, for example, space 2 for months, and the same for years.
Excellent.
Okay. I'm just looking for my keyboard and trying to understand what I missed there.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. Pretty much I think that's it. I think so. I hope so. What did I miss? Maybe a clue?
Okay, so would you like to try that it should not accept a date, say 31st June?
Sorry. Yeah, the year.
That's
Yeah, and the same for for example, for February, which is once in 4 years.
absolutely
The
leap year testing.
yes, sure. So yeah,
Yeah,
I missed it. Wow. Okay, so leap year and all the months with 30 days, I try to do the 31 days. Yeah,
correct,
you're right.
correct.
Yeah, I
All
missed
right.
it.
Okay. So on these lines only, do you know the concept of boundary value testing and equivalence partitioning? Do you know about it?
Uh, boundary testing, I know, but you mean exactly on this case, the boundary
Yes,
testing?
yes, yes. Yeah.
Okay, so
Which you did on
yeah,
you mentioned it that
yeah,
you would.
this is exactly what I want to say. Is that it's like from 13 to 31.
Correct, correct.
It's boundary testing for months
Right.
would be.
So, right. But I gave you the requirement that the date field should accept the range from 01/01/2023 to 31/12/2023. Okay. Which means
Okay.
this year. So it is,
Can I write it down because
yeah,
again
yeah, yeah.
which sorry
This
yeah
year only 01/01
zero one
20
zero one 20
2023
okay and
to
31 12
2023.
2023
This year only.
okay okay nice so first I will test the first date and the last date like boundaries
Very good.
I will test the half year which is
Okay.
which is what it's June half year. It's like a 01/06/2023 if
Okay.
it's it works half year as a boundary. Do you want me to test here also negative and positive here in these boundaries?
Absolutely, absolutely. It is
So
important.
again the February of 28 February 29 February sorry will be tested here. It would be tested here, for example, 32 of sorry, 32 of January, for
Yes.
example.
Yeah.
Yeah, and 31 of I don't know where 31 of June, for example, also the half year.
Correct. Again, it is important to validate the date as 31/12/2022. Just that is also comes under boundary value testing.
Yes,
So yeah,
okay.
so
Yeah,
boundary
got it.
just not cannot be only the positive aspect, which is 01/01/2023, which you tested.
No, no, I said
Yeah,
no. I wanted it the wrong year. I didn't just got to it yet.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I just
So,
was playing with the months and days. Yeah.
so 31/12/2022, just one date before the our actual
Before the
requirements start, and
yeah,
just
exactly like a
one date.
31/12 and 31/12/2022 also
Yes, and one
also need
one
to check.
2024.
24. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
Of
all
course,
right.
sure. Always one thing out of boundaries. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
But you did a great job, Seva. You I think covered 80% of the scenarios. I would say,
Thank you.
which is good.
I think
You are a,
if I'm not nervous, but if I would be more confident and more calm, I would do all of them.
absolutely,
I
and it is
hope so.
over the system we are talking. Otherwise, if I would have given that you on the page, you would have thought more, and then you. I believe you could have tested those scenarios as well, which you could not mention.
Thank you.
Great.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So does that give you, so this was majorly around the test case design. So this is the
Yeah.
way when we kind of, whenever a requirement is given to us, it is important to first understand that requirement clearly to clearly define what test cases are. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And
So
not to make it very large because it's hard to read. It should be readable. It's like I always when I write this case I say any person from the street should come and run this test, understand this test and run it. It should be
absolutely.
very neat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Okay. Let's move on. So
Sure.
with respect to say regression testing now,
Mm-hmm.
let me give you a scenario that
Of
uh,
course.
there is a company has a website, a transaction website,
Mm-hmm.
okay?
Website.
And that
Okay.
and that's live in production. It's working.
It's in production. Okay.
It's in production. It's working.
Okay. So it's like it's customer has it, and also it's also adding new stuff there.
No, let me come to that. So at the
Okay.
moment,
Okay.
there is a website which is working. It's working fine, but there is an ask from the client that that we want a new website to be created altogether.
New website.
New
Okay.
website for
Okay.
all these areas. So somehow they don't like the current UI, the current way the transactions are happening. So client comes to the company and says that I want a new website to be created, completely
Okay.
new
So from
website
scratch, the same
from
website, like
scratch.
from scratch.
Yes,
Okay.
from scratch you need to create. So the client gives the requirements and all, and the development team works on as per the new requirements and builds a new website.
Okay.
So you are given a task. You have to define the regression testing scope.
On the new website. From scratch one.
So it is not informed to you on new website, on old website. Seva is deployed as a tester, okay? Or maybe
Okay.
I would say a test lead. Okay? You have junior testers under you. Okay? And Seva is told that you have to define the regression testing scope.
Okay, so first,
What would be the regression testing scope of this? And let me tell you, once this new website goes live, okay, the old website would be immediately decommissioned and a new website would be working altogether in the production. There won't be any aspect of old website would be working in production when a new website goes live. Am I clear with my question?
Okay, so as I understood, there's a website which a client doesn't like, and he wants new website with the same content as content I understood from scratch. And once this new website will be ready, the old website should stop working, and the new website should be on.
Right.
Okay.
And Seva is being asked to define the regression testing scope of this project.
Okay, does Seva has access to both sides?
Seva has access to both sides.
Nice.
In the lower environment.
Yes, of course. So first of all, I would start to understand to understand the difference. What now is the difference between these two sides? What was changed? What is new there, and what stayed the same? After defining it, I will start the test on the new website. These new features. These new features first to understand if they are working, and then I would move to old features which I already defined are the same from the in the old website. So I will test them on the on new website, and I will test the same features on the old website, and I must see that they are the same. They behave the same, they look the same, and etc. So my plan would be defined.
Is it a functional testing or a regression testing? So
functional testing will be the testing of new features. It's a functional testing. But the testing of the old features, which are not supposed to change, are not, should be the same as on the old website, it's a regression testing. Because they should not be changed. New features should not affect them. So, and this is like my expected result. The old website is my expected result, and the new website is my actual result. And I need to compare them. If they are the same, the regression testing is passed. And if there's something wrong, I will submit defects or ask if a customer prefer this way.
Okay, so you're terming it as a regression testing. Testing
Yes,
of the old feature, you are terming it as a regression testing.
The old features, yes, because they are supposed to stay the same after the adding new features. It's also always regression testing. What's regression testing? How new features affect the old features? They should not affect them. They should stay the same and work the same.
All right. Okay. Cool.
Am I missing something?
Okay, so in this case, there won't be any regression testing here.
Okay. You mean
And why I say
because
that?
because it's a new website from yeah, I thought about it, but I thought if it's a new
Absolutely.
website from scratch
There is no regression testing scope in
for new
this,
website, no.
because
Like
the old website would be decommissioned at all.
yeah,
You
this is why
just
I'm
you
saying.
just need
That's why
to
I'm saying I will first define if there is. I said if I first define if there's the same features on the old website and new website, and if there are, I will test them. If
no,
they're not, how?
even if there are same features on the
Mhm.
new and the old website, those are being developed newly, Seva, on
Okay.
the new website. Any testing which you are doing, even for the same features which are being developed on
It
new
will be for
test,
functionality.
would
I
be
got your
called
point.
as a functional testing.
Okay.
Okay,
Well, okay,
so
got it.
so in this case,
Mhm.
you would say I do not have any regression testing. It
Okay.
is all functional testing because it's a new website being developed.
Okay.
You can validate the actual result. You can validate the results from the old website or from a requirement document, whatever it is given to you.
But it's not
But
regression. Okay, I got it.
absolutely, yeah. So it is
Okay.
important to clearly understand our
Difference.
scope and accordingly define as to what
Mhm.
would be a regression. Okay, let me give you one more scenario.
Sure.
Okay.
Mhm.
Suppose in a website, there are three modules, and I'm terming it as A, B, and C.
Mhm. See more features. Okay.
So three modules. First
Uh,
module, name of the first module is A, name of the
ABC.
second module B and C.
Mhm.
So now the client says that do some changes in C,
Mhm.
okay, and add two more modules D and E.
Okay.
Okay.
Do they
So
connect to each other?
uh, does not matter, but you can assume that they do.
They don't.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So now when we would go live, you would have five modules. So ABC is already working, okay,
But we added
in
something to
production,
see.
but
Yeah.
we are adding some scope into C, some
Mhm.
news. We are doing some changes in C,
Mhm.
and we are adding D and E as well. Okay.
Okay.
So when we would go live, we would have five modules in the production:
Mhm.
A, B,
Mhm.
C, D, E.
E. Okay.
Now, Seva as a test lead is being told
Mhm.
to define
We
the
need to
regression testing.
test AB, of course. The
Okay.
models AB, which are I don't know if it doesn't matter actually. You're right. If it's affected by CDE or not. And also I would test in C because we are adding new features in C. I would test old features of C.
Excellent. Excellent. So yeah. So old features of C and AB is the
Yeah.
regression testing.
Yes. Exactly.
New features of C, D, and E, that would all
It's
be functional
functionality.
testing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very
This one is
nice.
easy.
This one was easy, yeah?
Yeah. This one was easy.
All right. Okay. Good. Good. So we are, it is showing me that we are left with 6 minutes now.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. So
So.
quickly coming on to the feedback, Seva, okay, and then I'll take any if you would have any questions. So
Mhm.
with respect to the test plan, you clearly understand as to what a test plan is and what
Mhm.
needs to be fed back into the test plan, how we
Mhm.
need to create the test plan. And on the
Okay.
test strategy, what I would say is that a test strategy document is a document in which an organization defines as to how the testing of any project
Mhm.
would be conducted in our organization. Okay.
Mhm.
Like for example, uh, in a test strategy, it may be defined that we would have, say, three environments on which the testing would happen. A QA environment,
Mhm.
as and when the development would done, it would be deployed, the code would be deployed on a QA,
Okay.
and a QA testing would be done there. Then we would have a UAT environment in which the UAT would happen. And then on a lower environment, we would have a performance testing environment on which a performance testing would happen. Once these testings are signed off, then we would go to production.
Okay.
And a clear sign off, a clear exit criteria would also be defined. When, say, we achieve 90% of the test cases are passed in QA, then only we would move from QA to UAT. When there is no blockers at all, when there are no critical defects in QA, or when there are only 50% minor defects are left in QA. So these are the general testing practices which
Okay.
in an organization would follow. Those would be
Right.
defined in a test strategy doc. We
Got
define
it.
a test plan only for a project which is coming up. We can have multiple projects coming up. And then we define the test plan of that particular project as to what we are doing in it, what we would do, how we would test it, which all kind of testing we would done. That may vary project to project. So for that, we define a test plan. But a test strategy is generally defined at once at a test organization or a department level. That this is the way all projects would be tested in this department.
Got it.
All right. So that's the difference between a test strategy and a test.
Yeah, I will write it down that I need to know more about it strategy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I think then I asked about the new website question, username, password. You gave answer perfectly fine. You covered almost everything which a tester should be testing it. Okay. And then we talked about that date scenario. Again, you covered approximately 80% of all kind of test cases, which is good. Yeah.
Thank you.
And then you need to read about, I think, the equivalence partitioning. Okay. It is basically equivalence partitioning is when we have too many values to test, and then we define a partition as to how we would be doing a testing. So we define in a way that, say, if I enter a positive value from January to March, it would not, I can enter, say, 2, 3, any positive values. So my first quarter would be covered. So we define the quarters as partitions.
Okay.
When we have a large values or a large input values to be entered, then we define a similar partitions.
Okay, understood.
And similarly can be done on a negative side as well. So on the negative side, we can define partitions and then enter some of the values, and then it should be done.
Okay, got it.
And I think regression testing, again, you understand.
Yeah, now I understood my mistake.
No, you did the mistake only in the first one. Second, you were on the second one. You were absolutely you were there.
Yeah, it's sometimes we need to make mistakes. Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. You would learn from our mistakes only.
Of course, I like to learn. Yeah, of course.
So I'm done. Anything you want to ask? Any other question? We are left with 1.25 minutes.
No, it was very interesting actually. I didn't make interviews a long time ago, especially in manual. It was good for my brain to a little bit, to make challenges fast. I like that.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Seva. Thanks for joining the call.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Have a nice day. Bye.
Yeah, you too. Bye.